Hi, I'm Kanisha. I'm here to talk about my favorite shows with queer women. I've got a list of 50 shows that I've ranked. My criteria is simple. It's based on how much I like the show overall and the amount of queerness, including any subtext or potential queerness. Obviously, this is a list of shows that I've seen. If your favorite show didn't make my list, it might be because I haven't seen it. So number 35 on my list is Lost Girl. I have no idea how I discovered this show. I guess I was just flipping through channels. I don't know. But I found it. I watch most episodes. I haven't watched all the episodes, but it's a show that's right up my alley. It's a fantasy show. It's about this woman who realizes she is a succubus, and she discovers that there is like this underground secret world of supernatural creatures. It's there's a lot of similarities to the Harry Potter story. Of course, Harry doesn't know about wizards and then discovers he is one. Bo, she grew up thinking she was human. She grew up with a human family. And then she eventually discovers that she is a supernatural creature. So there's a little bit of parallels there. But yeah, like, the show is kind of about Bo learning about this underground supernatural world and supernatural society. There's good supernatural creatures, which they call fae. There's good fae, there's bad fae, and like, it's kind of just about Bo finding her place, I guess, is one way to put it. But yeah, I love the premise. I love the supernatural stuff. I've said that, I feel like I would say that in every video I make, but I really love fantasy and sci-fi stories. So Lost Girl was great for me. And then, of course, Bo is a succubus, so she is attracted to men and women. She, like, gets energy or something from sexual activity. Doesn't matter what gender, so there's a lot of that in the show. A lot of Bo kind of having an on and off again relationship with a human woman, and then she's also like in a relationship with this werewolf guy. But like, there's plenty of queer content throughout Lost Girl. So I really like this show. And I have it at 35 because I like this show overall more than I like some of the shows below it. And there's like, the main character is a queer woman, so that's, great for my book, and the show gets a lot of points for that. So I ended up with Lost Girl at 35 for those reasons. Number 34 on my list is Killing Eve. I don't know how I found out about Killing Eve. This is a more recent show, like the last, 5-6 years maybe, that this show came out. I don't know how I found it, but I absolutely love season 1. The show is about this woman, Eve Pilastri, who works with like MI5, MI6, and it's her job to like catch this assassin woman. It's basically, that's all there is to it. But Eve and the assassin woman Villanelle have like a peculiar relationship, and they're kind of obsessed with each other, so that adds some drama and tension and suspense to the show, if you didn't know. But I love season 1, and I know that for each season there's like a different head writer, and for me, season 1 was the best. It was the most enjoyable. It was the most tension and intrigue between Eve and Villanelle, I think. And then for me, the other seasons just I didn't think they were as good as season 1 for me. And I will admit that I have not finished the show. I've watched like 2 or 3 episodes of season 4 and just haven't gotten around to finishing it. And I'm based on the title of the show, like, you know that there's not going to be a happy ending. Like, there's just no way you could start watching this show titled Killing Eve and see that there's like a budding lesbian romance and not just feel uneasy, I guess, is one way to put it. So I know that there is not a happy ending. It stands to reason that maybe Eve doesn't survive, but I don't know. I don't know if I will ever finish this series. I'm just not looking forward to seeing what the ending actually is. And I know that this show is based on some novels, I think. So I don't know. I don't know how close the show is to the novel. I don't know if it takes, like, if the show takes some twists and turns that aren't in the novel. So I don't know anything about the ending. I don't even know if the novels are like still ongoing. So I have zero knowledge about how this show ends. I assume it's not a good ending. I assume it's messy. So I don't know. Like, I'll say it again. Season 1 was amazing. Season 1 was so great. And the rest of the seasons, I just didn't love the show as much. And that has a lot to do with why I have Killing Eve down to 34 out of 50. If my, like, feelings toward the show were like the same throughout all the seasons, I might have put Killing Eve like top 10, maybe top 5, but I just didn't like the show as much after season 1, so I put it down at 34. Number 33 on my list is a long title. It's an anime. Of course, that means that there's like a manga and a light novel that this is based off of, but the title is The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady. That's a mouthful, but this, if you haven't heard of it, it is a story that is set around a princess who is from Earth but dies, gets reincarnated into this other world that has magic. And the story revolves around the princess who remembers like being from Earth, and she cannot use magic like everyone else in the world, and she tries to invent things to help her be able to use magic. And there's all this drama about her being a princess and she's neglecting her duties as a princess. And then, like, because there's a kingdom, there's a monarchy, there's also someone who's trying to like steal power. So there's that stuff going on in the show. But I like the show overall because, of course, it's fantasy. I'm super into that. And I love isekai stories. So if you don't know what isekai is, it's a story that's set in another world, so other than Earth. And this is one of those stories. I really like those stories. But to me, isekais are very fun because they're creative and imaginative. And it's like, I mean, it's just different reality, basically, that these characters have to live in. So it's fun for me to see. I love those stories. I mean, of course, that's fantasy, so I mean, I love it. But for this show, it's just, it's fun to see the princess try to find her place in the world. And it's interesting that she's not just, you know, a commoner. She is very important to this world. She has responsibilities and duties to the kingdom, and I find it interesting because she's like so separate from everyone else. Everyone else can use magic, she cannot. She has memories of Earth. No one else seemingly has any knowledge about Earth existence, so she's different from everyone. And I enjoy seeing her trying to balance fitting in with being herself. So I mean, I like seeing all that. And of course, the princess has a crush on one of the other noble women. How do I say this? She has a crush on her father's advisor's daughter. Okay, I think I said that right. And because of things that happen in the show, the two of them get to spend a lot of time together, become friends, and then become more than friends. So, like, I really like the show. I like the magic. I like the, like, political, how do I say this? How do I say this? Like, not political intrigue. Political drama, I guess. I like the sort of political royal drama that's going on with the show too. And like the royal family has issues that get delved into on the show as well. Like there's a lot of dramatic things happening. There's romance stuff happening. There's adventure that's happening as well. It's like, I feel like it's a pretty well-rounded show, and there's lots of things that go on in a relatively short period of time, and I just like it. I really enjoyed how everything plays out in the anime. And of course, the princess and the advisor's daughter are cute together. And I like seeing how the princess and the advisor's daughter's relationship develops and evolves. So I really enjoyed it, and I decided to put it at 33. I liked it more than some of the shows below it, and there's enough queer content for me to rank it this high. Number 32 on my list is another anime. It's called Yuri Is My Job. So like the premise for the show and for the story, I think it's kind of silly, but I'm into it. So it's about, if you don't know, it's about this girl who, through like some mishaps, is goaded into working at this cafe, but the catch is that the cafe is actually like half restaurant, half theater. Like I don't think dinner theater is not the right way to put it, but it's a themed cafe, I think is how you put it. And the theme is like all the waitresses like work in an all-girls academy. So all the servers are students at this fake academy where like the cafe is set in. Feels weird to explain it, but that's what it is. So like all the servers have to act like they're students and act like they have class and all that kind of stuff, and act like there are school events as they are serving real people. So like I really don't think there's anything like this in America, but maybe that's a popular Japanese thing. I have no idea, but maybe that's what it is. So the main girl, Hime, she's the one that through the mishaps she has to help out at this cafe, kind of as a favor to someone. So she's learning all this stuff about this cafe and the student body and all that stuff. I really like this show because the premise is insane, but it allows for a lot of drama. There's a lot of drama with the show, and there's a bunch of lesbians, so that's good for me too. And it's like love triangle isn't enough. There's like a love square going on in this show, so there's just a lot of not tension, I guess. Tension's probably not a fair or accurate word to use, but there's just drama. And I have read some of the manga, and of course the manga goes further, like tells the story further along than what is in the anime. The anime, I think, is only like 12 episodes. I know things from the manga that add to my enjoyment of the story and add to how much I like the anime. I'm fully admitting that right now. Like, this is my list of favorite shows, and I am deciding not to try and separate the anime from the manga. So I'm just like putting it all together, and I really like where the manga goes. I really enjoy the development of the relationships that happen in the manga. So Yuri Is My Job is a really fun show. It's just full of drama, and I'm really into it. So I've got Yuri Is My Job at 32 on my list of favorite shows with queer women. Number 31 on my list is Warrior Nun. I watched this show for this YouTube channel, and I really liked it. I'm sad about how it ended. It just sucks how it ended. And it feels like there was a lot of really good story left. I don't know how close the comics are. Like, I don't know how much the show took from the comics, so I don't know if there's any overlap at all, other than like some of the names. But I don't think it's not a situation that's like anime and manga where you watch the anime and then you can go to the manga to read more. So I don't think that's how Warrior Nun worked out. I feel like Warrior Nun is pretty different from the comics that the show is based on. So it just sucks that there really isn't another like outlet to get more from the story from this universe. So I mean, it's a huge bummer. But the show overall, like what we got, it's a really fun show. I love the fantasy stuff. I love the, like, it's kind of like I guess historical fantasy, maybe. I don't know if that really counts, but I don't know if this show actually counts towards that, but it's kind of the vibes I'm getting from what I watched. If you're unfamiliar, it's about a girl who comes back from the dead and becomes like this chosen one to a secret order of warrior nuns who it's their job to like fight demons. It's a pretty crazy premise, but it's a really good show. Season 1 for me felt a little slow at first, but it did pick up like in the back half of the season. I think I would have enjoyed the show a little bit more if the first season didn't feel so slow. It felt like the first few like 5 or 6 episodes kind of felt like treading water to me. It didn't feel like the story kicked in until like much later in the season. So I think I would have put Warrior Nun higher if season 1, like if the pacing of season 1 was a little faster and if we like got moving faster. But as it was, like, still a good show. I still really enjoyed the lore and the history of the Warrior Nun and the, what are they, Sister Warriors? I think that's what they're called. So the Warrior Nun was like the chosen one, and I think the Sister Warriors were like support nuns that were fighting to, like, knights, I guess, maybe, is like the best comparison I can think of right now. So yeah, like I was saying, I love the lore. It's really fun, and there is a really good mystery that goes on in season 1 that really kept me captivated and kept me coming back to like see like to see the characters figure it out. So it's a great show. I really enjoyed it, and I'm sad that Ava and Beatrice didn't get a lot of time to be together, be in a relationship. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of time with them, and I feel like if that show had a season 3, maybe we would have gotten a lot more of that relationship. But I mean, like, the way the show ended all around was just a bummer. It was a bummer for me because I really liked that universe, and I liked the, like, I don't know, religious fantasy stuff that was happening in the show. And I also liked the couple, Ava and Beatrice. They were great together. Now, I will say, since I am ranking shows with queer women, I don't get what Warrior Nun, the show, was doing with the character of Mary. It feels implied that Mary loved Shannon, but I don't think there was anything explicit about their relationship. So I don't know what to make of Mary and her sexuality, or whether or not she was attracted to Shannon. So I really don't get it. And when I talked about the videos that I did for Warrior Nun, I talked about being like confused about Mary and what the nature of her relationship was with Shannon. So I'm still confused. I do appreciate that in every fanfic I've read of Warrior Nun, Mary and Shannon are a couple. So I'm not the only one that sees like breadcrumbs about the relationship. So I appreciate that. But still, the show, I don't know if any of the writers or the showrunners has said anything about Mary and Shannon at all. I don't like looking that stuff up anyway, because it should be in the show. Like, that's just my opinion. It just doesn't make sense to me to like have to explain things in an interview. if you're like writing and making a TV show. So I don't know. With Mary and Shannon, I feel like there are some mixed signals about the nature of their relationship. And I want to believe that Mary loved Shannon romantically. There's signs that that's the case, but there's also some things that maybe it wasn't like that. I don't know. The way that was handled was kind of baffling to me. Like, I don't get why they wouldn't just be upfront with it, but I don't know. I just wanted to mention that here. But yeah, I don't know, that was weird. But Ava and Beatrice were very cute together. The little bit that we got seeing them together. But yeah, I'm confused about Mary and Shannon, and I really liked Ava and Beatrice as a couple. I just have Warrior Nun ahead of the other shows because Warrior Nun, I think, I was more intrigued with that show than the other four that I mentioned today. And there's just enough queer content to put it higher than the other four shows. So that's 35 to 31 of my top 50 favorite shows with queer women. Which of these shows have you seen? And if you've seen any of them, which one would you put higher than I did if you were going to make a list of shows? I'm very interested to see if there's any overlap as to what you have watched and what I've watched. I don't know what you're into, but I like fantasy and sci-fi. I think there's a lot more of those shows to come. But yeah, I'm very interested to see if you've seen what I've seen. So let me know in the comments, have you watched any of these and which of them would you put higher? That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. If you're a queer black woman who has grown up barely seeing any black LGBT women on TV, especially compared to white women, then you've probably thought there aren't a lot of girls like me. Maybe that has made you grow up feeling like you shouldn't be black and queer. Maybe you struggled to fit in with other black people when you were in high school or college. Maybe it's made you not want to speak up about your queerness. Or maybe you never really tried to find characters who look like you on TV. Maybe you just waited and hoped to see them in a show. And now you're an adult and you still think there aren't many queer black women on TV. Well, I've got good news. There are way more TV characters who are queer black women than you think, and I'll help you find them. If you're serious about wanting to see more queer black women on TV, then the next step for you is to watch my video series called The Biggest Problem for All Queer Black Women Watching TV. In it, I'll tell you what the biggest problem is and the easiest, simplest, best solution to find TV characters who are queer black women. Click the link in the description to get access. But warning, this may not be for you, and that's okay. If you don't care about seeing more queer black women on TV, then you don't need this. You can move on with the rest of your day. This is for you if you grew up thinking, since there's no one like me on TV, maybe I shouldn't feel this way. Maybe I shouldn't think that girl is fine. Well, that's not true. I found over 150 TV characters who are queer black women. And that girl that you know is fine. Ain't nothing wrong with you. But seriously, I'll teach you how I found queer black women on TV in my video series. Just click the link in the description.